Breaking news from Maranello. The first images of Ferrari's 2026 SF-26 concept have just leaked, and the paddock is already buzzing. Lewis Hamilton's new Ferrari isn't just a car, it's a radical reinvention, combining a steel alloy cylinder head, double pushrod suspension, and ultra-compact aerodynamic packaging designed for maximum stability, efficiency, and speed. Insiders suggest these innovations, tailored directly with Hamilton's input, could give him a decisive advantage as Formula One enters a new era of 2026 regulations. And later, we'll explore why this SF-26 concept could redefine what it takes to compete at the very top, creating both a technical and psychological edge even before the first official race. Ferrari has just leaked the first images of the SF-26 concept, and the Formula One world is already buzzing. After a challenging 2025 season, where Lewis Hamilton struggled, Charles Leclerc faced inconsistencies, and the team finished fourth. The Scuderia decided to pursue a radical redesign rather than incremental updates. Every element of the SF-26, from the chassis to aerodynamics and the power unit, has been meticulously re-engineered under strict secrecy. The SF-25's flaws were impossible to ignore. Ride height instability, inconsistent tire performance, and aerodynamic inefficiencies left drivers frustrated and engineers scrambling. The team realized that simple upgrades would not be enough to return to the top. They needed a complete reset. In April 2025, Ferrari halted all development on the SF-25 and redirected all resources to Project 678, the internal codename for the SF-26. This was not an evolution, it was a full redesign intended to exploit the 2026 regulations and provide a competitive advantage over Mercedes, Red Bull, and the rest of the grid. The development timeline was unprecedented. The SF-26 chassis was finalized just a day before the official reveal. Every component from the steel alloy cylinder head to the double pushrod suspension had to be integrated perfectly under extreme time constraints. Any flaw could compromise pre-season testing and early race performance. Hamilton's input was unusually deep for a driver. Steering ergonomics, chassis balance, and energy deployment mapping were all tailored to his feedback. Leclerc focused on stability and predictability, ensuring the car remained consistent under all track conditions. Together, they helped shape a machine that blends raw speed with driver confidence. The SF-26 is more than just fast, it's precise, strategic, and psychologically impactful. Ferrari is keeping Spec B, the performance configuration, hidden until Bahrain testing. Rivals are left guessing, amplifying pressure across the paddock and forcing competitors to question their own development choices. The stakes are enormous. Success could return Hamilton to championship contention and re-establish Ferrari as the team to beat in 2026. Failure could compound 2025's disappointments, leaving the team exposed. Every design choice, every innovation, and every driver input carries weight, making the SF-26 a car that could either deliver glory or magnify risk. At the heart of the SF-26 lies a power unit that could completely redefine Formula One performance in 2026. Ferrari has replaced the traditional aluminum cylinder head with a steel alloy version. While this may appear to be a minor change, insiders suggest it dramatically improves combustion stability, rigidity, and thermal efficiency under extreme conditions. The hybrid system has also been fully rebalanced. The internal combustion engine produces roughly 500 horsepower, while the MGUK outputs nearly 4 times the power of previous units. This combination allows Hamilton and Leclerc to deploy energy strategically, potentially giving them an advantage rivals may not anticipate, both on the straights and through corners. Suspension has been completely redesigned. Ferrari abandoned the SF-25's pull rod setup in favor of a double pushrod system at both front and rear. Though passive, this suspension behaves almost like an active system under varying aerodynamic loads, delivering subtle yet powerful performance advantages while remaining fully compliant with FIA regulations. Hamilton's input has been critical. Steering ergonomics, chassis balance, and energy deployment mapping have all been tailored to his driving style, making the SF-26 highly responsive. Leclerc ensured the car remains predictable and stable across changing track conditions, blending raw speed with consistency. Ferrari is testing the car in 2 specifications. Spec A focuses on validation, ensuring reliability and proper integration of the steel head, hybrid system, and suspension. Spec B, the full performance configuration, remains hidden until Bahrain, keeping rivals guessing and adding psychological pressure across the grid. These innovations indicate Ferrari may be exploiting gray areas in the regulations. The SF-26 could dominate early in the season, but only if every system functions flawlessly under real-world conditions. A single misstep could reveal vulnerabilities that no one outside Maranello yet knows about. Even from the first leaked images, the SF-26 appears deceptively conventional. But beneath the bodywork lies a machine designed to maximize every possible advantage. This combination of high-risk engineering, driver-tailored input, and regulatory savvy is what makes Hamilton's new Ferrari genuinely terrifying for competitors. The SF-26 isn't just about innovation, it's operating on the edge of what's allowed in Formula One. The steel cylinder head, compact aerodynamics, and double pushrod suspension are technically legal, but no team has ever combined these elements in this way. Sources suggest that while the FIA is aware, the car has not yet faced full scrutiny under real racing conditions. Hamilton's close involvement gives the car a unique edge. His input on steering response, chassis balance, and hybrid energy deployment allows him to extract performance that rivals may struggle to match. But this also introduces risk. One misjudgment on his part could compromise systems that engineers have spent months perfecting. Timing amplifies the stakes. The chassis was finalized just a day before the official reveal, leaving minimal room for real-world testing. Every component from the steel head to the hybrid unit and suspension must perform flawlessly, or early season reliability could be compromised. Aerodynamic refinements are subtle yet decisive. Narrower side pods, compact radiators, and optimized airflow to the diffuser could save up to 0.25 seconds per lap. Tiny margins, yes, but in modern F1, they can define races and championships. And because these configurations are unprecedented, no one outside Ferrari knows how the SF-26 will behave under full speed conditions. Strategic leaks add another layer of intrigue. Partial data and images have already reached rival teams, creating uncertainty. Competitors may miscalculate Ferrari's true pace, giving the team an invisible advantage even before the first official race. Historical precedent reminds us that gray area innovations often face mid-season scrutiny. Mercedes' DS system in 2020 demonstrated that legal innovations could later be challenged or banned. Ferrari may be relying on this delay to capitalize on early season performance. In the end, the SF-26 is a high-stakes gamble. Perfect execution could redefine the championship, while failure could have dramatic consequences. Until the car is tested at full speed, nobody knows whether Ferrari's audacious design will deliver brilliance or backfire spectacularly. The SF-26 is as impressive as it is risky. Integrating a steel cylinder head, hybrid power systems, and double pushrod suspension creates a complex machine that could expose vulnerabilities under the extreme stresses of racing. Even minor misalignments, thermal stress, or energy deployment errors could destabilize the car at high speeds. The compressed development timeline amplifies these risks. Engineers finalized critical systems with minimal real-world testing. Any problem discovered during pre-season could require urgent fixes, leaving very little margin for error before the first races of the season. Psychological pressure on the team is significant. The failures of 2025 are still fresh, and every decision from setup adjustments to component replacements carries enormous weight. Hamilton and Leclerc must push the car to its limits while ensuring reliability. Spec A is a conservative setup intended to validate systems and ensure reliability. Spec B, the performance version, remains hidden until Bahrain. While this protects Ferrari's strategic advantage, it also compresses the time window to identify and fix potential failures, creating high tension for the team. FIA oversight adds another layer of uncertainty. Gray area technologies such as the steel cylinder head and double pushrod suspension could provoke mid-season clarifications or rulings. Any enforced changes could reduce Ferrari's advantage and force rapid adaptation. Rival teams feel the pressure too. Leaks and glimpses of the SF-26 create uncertainty, forcing competitors to speculate on Ferrari's true pace. Misjudgments could lead to overcompensation or flawed strategies, giving Ferrari an invisible edge even before the first official race. Ultimately, the SF-26 walks a razor-thin line between brilliance and danger. One mechanical, aerodynamic, or thermal failure could compromise reliability and race performance, while flawless execution could deliver a decisive advantage. Until the car is tested at full speed, fans, rivals, and the paddock remain on edge. If the SF-26 performs as Ferrari hopes, the 2026 Formula One grid could be dramatically reshaped. Early signs suggest that improvements in engine efficiency, hybrid power, and aerodynamics could put Ferrari ahead of Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren even before the first race. Hamilton's involvement gives him a unique advantage. His deep understanding of energy deployment, chassis balance, and steering response could allow him to extract performance that rivals cannot anticipate, potentially making him the key figure in the championship battle. The two-spec strategy adds intrigue. Spec A validates reliability and system integration, while Spec B, the full performance car, remains hidden until Bahrain. Rivals only see part of Ferrari's true potential, making pre-season testing and early race strategies uncertain. This may lead to misallocation of resources or overly aggressive tactics, giving Ferrari a subtle but powerful edge. FIA oversight is an unpredictable factor. Gray area innovations such as the steel cylinder head and double pushrod suspension could provoke mid-season clarifications or rulings. Ferrari's gamble could either redefine what is permissible or force urgent adjustments, directly impacting their advantage and championship prospects. Psychological pressure on rival teams is also significant. Leaks, early images, and insider hints create doubt, forcing competitors to make decisions under uncertainty. This adds a strategic advantage for Ferrari even before a single official lap has been completed. Yet the stakes remain immense. One mechanical, aerodynamic, or thermal failure could compromise reliability, driver confidence, and race outcomes. The SF-26 operates on a razor's edge where fractions of a second can determine triumph or disaster. Finally, the SF-26 could influence the long-term direction of Formula One. Its design may shape rival teams' engineering approaches, affect FIA interpretations of regulations, and redefine what is technically achievable. Its full impact will unfold gradually, lap by lap, leaving the paddock and fans on edge with anticipation. Even as the SF-26 rolls out of Maranello, its full story is far from revealed. The steel cylinder head, hybrid systems, and double pushrod suspension may only show their true potential and reveal weaknesses under the extreme conditions of racing. Hamilton and Leclerc face extraordinary pressure. Every lap, every corner, and every energy deployment decision will test the limits of the car, the drivers, and the months of development Ferrari has invested. Mistakes could be costly, while flawless execution could secure early dominance. The FIA is quietly observing. Gray area technologies and unprecedented engineering create a scenario where mid-season clarifications or rulings could force component adjustments, potentially reshaping Ferrari's advantage and the championship standings. Spec B remains hidden until pre-season testing, preserving Ferrari's secrets while maintaining uncertainty across the grid. This strategic secrecy amplifies psychological pressure, forcing competitors to make decisions without knowing the car's full performance. The stakes are enormous. One mechanical, aerodynamic, or thermal failure could compromise races or even the championship. Yet if everything functions perfectly, Ferrari could establish an advantage that extends beyond raw speed, affecting strategy and driver confidence across the season. Insiders hint that these first images may be only the beginning. Additional undisclosed technologies or systems could surface as the season progresses, revealing more of Ferrari's hidden capabilities and influencing how rivals approach their own 2026 designs. Ultimately, the SF-26 represents Ferrari's boldest gamble in decades. Success could restore Hamilton to championship glory and redefine Formula One performance standards. Failure could leave the team scrambling and redefine what it means to take risks at the very top of motorsport. Until the car proves itself on track, the paddock, fans, and rivals remain in suspense, watching to see whether Ferrari's gamble will pay off or backfire spectacularly.